Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to the premiere of the Ask Stuart Hour. I'm really glad you're here. And what I'm going to do is ask you to either type in any questions you have, or if you type it in or raise your hand, if your microphone, if you have a microphone and a computer, so we can actually talk and hear each other and everybody else can too. That makes for an even more entertaining time together so we can talk. So let me know. I will not enable your microphone unless you tell me to do so. Um, if you have a webcam, like you're seeing me now, I hope you can see me now. Can you see me now? Can you type into the chat box that you can all see me and hear me, if you'd be so kind? Let's see here. Um, then I can also enable your webcam so we could see you too. Split screen, triple screen, whatever you want. Let me just see here if anybody has posted that. Yep. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Susan. Susan, you say, oh no, no showing. Oh, no showing of your webcam. No more. I would never do that. Only if you tell me it's okay, but just know that um, we can do that. Hi, Judy. You can see me. That's fantastic. Cool. That's great. So everything appears to be working and you can hear me. Um, we are recording this. When you record a webinar, it doesn't record me. So what I'm going to do is just edit it after and just save the audio portion. So you can come back if you have to sign out during this hour. That's fine. Pop in, pop out. That's fine. But you can always come back to the recording. I'm going to introduce a page that has it. And we have Carl, who's in boot camp, who sent in some questions. He couldn't be with us. So before we open it up for questions, and if you don't have any, I have questions for you. A couple of things. I told you about the mic and the webcam, but only if you tell me to enable it. Don't worry. Remember, if you can't make one of these, as Carl did, go ahead and send in your questions, and I will bring them up here, and I'll give my answers, because I told you this is like a private group coaching session, if you will, because I want to get your feedback too on these questions as well. It's all about sharing, you know. The other thing is, well, I'm probably going to vary the times of these, unless you will think we should pick a day and a time. I'm going to leave it up to you, boot campers, to tell me that. So this is our first one. Next, in 2 weeks from now, we'll do the next one, and it could be a Monday at 6 in the morning. Too early? Let me see what else I want to tell you. Um, yeah, really, that's it. This is your show. I have no agenda. It's totally your show, and I'm happy to answer things. And so the questions I want to ask you are really about your experience, your user experience thus far. Has it met your expectations, exceeded your expectations? I introduced a brand new layout to try to make things a little more just quicker, so you can move around quicker. The Facebook thing, just to let you know, apparently I can't get you into the private Facebook group until we're Facebook friends. So would you be my friend if I'm not already friends with you? Let me know if you want to be Facebook friends, then I can get you in the private Facebook group. We already have a couple people in. I encourage you to please leave comments after you've seen the videos. It's great so that I know what you think. It's great so that I know what questions you have or anecdotes you have to share with others, because I always check them and I'll reply back. And for your ultra boot campers, I want to know if you've been inside the experts library. I know it's only been a bunch of days. There's a lot in there. And wait till you see week 2. Oh my gosh. I just finished loading stuff up. This is a lot of intense stuff in there. I really think you could love. So I'm going to check here to see if anybody has any questions. If you don't right now or comments, I'm going to read Carl's questions and I'm going to answer them and see if you guys have anything to share. So, Jenny says she loves the library. That's cool. I'm really glad you do. You can see there's some videos in there. There's even a PDF document. Just so you know, I have, because I don't want to overwhelm you guys with too much stuff too fast. But I taped another one with Ken Muscat from MSC. That interview is great. The other week I also recorded another experts library with Paula Hayes from Globus Family of Brands, talking about groups, and I'm asking them to bring to the table some new things, different thinking, things from their perspective. So I'm really glad that you like the library. Very excited about it. I already have several more to load up, and whenever I do load up a new one, I will let you know. Let's see. Jenny says you hope more people join the Facebook group. I do too. And I'm sure they will. Like I said, I have to offer everybody to be the Facebook friend and get in. So we'll get it going. You guys are the premier group. You're the first in. I'm so excited, seriously, to get your comments about how enthusiastic you are and excited. Um, I I'm tickled pink. Well, red at the moment. Let's see. 6 a.m. Yick. Don't worry, Susan. I'm just kidding. But actually, no. I mean, we'll do it at any time. Let's see. Okay, Jenny, you've gone through the first three of the experts library. Probably that's what you're referring to. Cool. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to glance down for a moment, and I'm going to read you Carl's first question. And then if you want to respond, if you want to add something, ask your own question, go ahead and post it, and just bear with me here, because I don't, there's nothing fancy here. I don't have somebody in the back room there, a technical operator, a director, monitoring this stuff. I'm doing a little old me here. So, and I want to see if I would know if there's a hand up. Let me just see how I'd see that. I don't think I see any hands up. All right. We'll figure it out. You guys have patience for me. Nothing in the chat box there, right? Okay. So Carl's first question is it better to try and charge an event fee in the cruise price as an upcharge, or let the group leader charge it on their own? So Carl wants to know about an event fee. So I'm sure you all understand what that is. So this is not a specific excursion or something like that. It's just a fee to attend it. Apparently, the group leader wants to make money, or it's a fundraiser for whatever reason they want to earn money. So so what do you guys think of that? What I would offer is that it's always best to charge one package price. You probably know by now, I'm all about the package, and we're going to really get into packaging in week 2. But when you start saying, okay, we'll take your credit card for this amount, take your credit for this amount, or send a check here, send a check there, it kind of gets messy. So ideally, you want to do one payment that packages it all. Now some sub thoughts on that. If this is a real tight group, they're really close. Perhaps it's a church group, or I don't know. It could be an organization where they're really close, and the people wouldn't mind writing out the check to the group leader for the event fee, and then paying for the travel portion separate by credit card. Then maybe you can do that. But you just don't want it to wreck the value of the bundle, the package, because you never want them. There's no need to reveal the price components in the package. Now, perhaps that event fee is okay, but still your travel, whether it's a cruise package or tour package, it's got all kinds of stuff already built in. Because remember, you never want to let them unbundle it, peel it apart, and start pricing you out, right? Or adding or removing components. The other thing I want to say is that if you do bundle it, and this goes back to packaging, Carl, too, you always want to make sure that the cruise line or tour operator, whoever it is going to accept the overpayment, and most of them do, is still within the monetary guidelines, which means you're not going over the limit of how much they'll accept over. And if they have any things that are excluded that they won't collect for, check that out, read the fine words. And the other part of this is very important, Carl, and everybody, which is um, uh, make sure it's written out how and when you're going to transfer this money to the group leader. So let's say you're collecting $50 and you've added it into the cruise package, and that group leader expects the $50. Well, guess what? The cruise line is probably going to charge you a merchant fee, right? A credit card fee. Some do, some don't. You have to read the fine print. So if you're losing 3%, you shouldn't be giving the group leader $50. They have to take the hit. Okay, so everything above board, everything right. You're more than happy to package it in, collect it, then the cruise line or whoever's going to collect it, just make sure that when you pay it out, it reflects any deductions. And the final point on that is that you know when you're going to transfer it too, because the last thing you want is to transfer all this money to the group or group leader for the fees that they wanted, and the person cancels and is entitled to their money back. Somebody, I mean, if they've paid you as part of the package, you've got to give the money back, but you've already paid the group leader. You don't want to get into an issue where you're collecting money. It's always ugly. You never want to go back and collect. So you really want to bundle, you want to wait till the very last second until it can't be canceled at all. And even have it written in, should there be a cancellation, that you, the agent, you're not responsible, that it's a group leader because you've already paid them. I hope that works. So I'm going to check here to see if anyone has made some comments here. Susan, event fees, my take is that it should be bundled. Good. We agree, and that not charged by the group leader separately. Yeah, because it does. It gets messy. People can pick it apart. They have to pay two different places. It's all about simplicity for you and the group leader and for the clients, and it's about convenience for all of you too. That's what it's all about. Jenny, you like to keep payments seamless. All payments go through me. Love it. Perfect. I think we're all on board here. And then if it's separate, they can start shopping for your cruise price. Exactly. There's no doubt. Sorry, I'll try to go back and look at your comments and questions a little faster. So if I don't see any other questions, then I'm going to go to Carl's second question. Okay. All right. I'm going to go to Carl's second question here, which is, do you call your written agreement with the group leader a contract, an agreement, or a proposal? Now, we're going to do that. Yes, this is an extremely big mug. And no, they didn't pay a product placement in there. I'm so sorry. I mean, that's very funny. Although I did work for Princess early in my years. Wait, Susan, would you recommend that the group leader not be paid until after the sailing is complete to protect against cancellation issues? Yes. If you can get away with that, absolutely. In fact, if you can get away with, I don't want to say get away with as if you're doing something, untoward. If the group leader has earned, or the group has earned some bonuses, if they own, if it was a fundraiser, or you agreed to provide whatever, the incentive. The more you can wait till after, so it doesn't get messy. If this can't, this, you've been there, you've all done that. There are always cancellations. There are always issues. So if you can postpone it till after, and that's what the group letter agreement is for. It says when you will pay out whatever it is. Over the years, I have seen agents unfortunately get burned by group leaders who say, nope, I want the money now, or I want you to book my cabin now and have it all paid for now. Well, guess what? There's cancellations. The agent doesn't earn the tour conductor credits. and they're out all this cash. Good luck going back to the group leader and saying, "Oh, wait a minute, you got to pay me for this now because we didn't." No, 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 no. That's why the group letter agreement is so critical. And Susan, thank you. Yeah, you always want to pay stuff out after. Um, now, getting back to Carl's question, and by the way, in week 2, that's actually the first module. So there's a video course module on how to write better group leader agreements, let alone how to write them, but how to write them better. I give you a whole structure for it. But there's also a PDF also that will help too. So you've got 2 sources there. I call it an agreement because I hesitate to call it a contract, Carl, and everybody on boot campers, because to me a contract sounds a lot more formal, and I think you'll know when you need a contract. And I don't know if anybody on the line here has ever had to issue a contract. To me, a contract, you'll need an attorney, and it has to be binding. And it's just, if you're going to do it, you got to do it. There are some groups that have higher risk, that have liability issues. And in fact, there are some organizations that you may be dealing with that are very formal organizations. They may not even sign something called an agreement. And if they do, they're going to send it to their attorney before they even sign an agreement. So I say, if there's not a big liability or a risk, definitely try with the agreement that I've proposed, that I've presented to you, and I definitely want your feedback on it. If they send it to their attorney, well, that's fine. Let them spend the money on an attorney. However, again, if it's a high risk, then see if you can get an attorney or even a paralegal, so you're not paying as much as an attorney, so you don't get yourself into trouble with that. But that's why I call it an agreement. And yeah, that's my answer. And I wanted to add something on that too, but I wanted to go to everybody online. Oh, Jean Ann has joined. Hi, Jean Ann. Welcome to our first official kickoff. Let me see here. I don't think I see any hands up or anybody who wants their mic to be opened up or their webcam to be open. But Jean Ann, don't worry. I won't open any webcams or mics until somebody says, if I even know how to do it. I don't know. Any comments, questions? Let me ask this. Has anybody, I'll ask you guys a question. I don't know if you saw the before and the after. Late day yesterday, I changed the whole look of the week 1 homepage and how you toggle. And also there was a question about where the transcripts are. I've actually made the transcript location even simpler. Now, here's the way it should be working, which is that if you're in Ultra Bootcamp, when you go to the video page, when you click over from the week 1 homepage and you click to see the video, you're going to see the video, and that's where it will play. But further down, you'll see the transcript right there. So the transcript to that video is right there below the video. I didn't know if anybody wanted to share a user experience with me. Does it work? Is it simple for you? Please feel free to share. What's weird is I feel like I'm talking to myself because I can't hear anybody, but that's okay. Jean Ann, do you have any comments or questions for us here? Oh, Susan, she likes the transcripts. They're easy to find now. Good. Beautiful. Okay. And I don't know if we have any of our loaded boot campers on who have the loaded package who don't get the transcript, but that shouldn't even appear because it's protected content. But if you're ultra, it should be right there. So Susan, I'm glad that you saw that and recognized that. And going forward, week 2, week 3, week 4, we're going to use the new layout. It's all about simplifying it and making it even more convenient. And about 7 days after the moment you joined, you'll have access to week 2. So that could be tomorrow for some of you, could be over the weekend for some of you. But remember, you move at your own pace. That material may very well be there, but don't overwhelm yourself. Week 2 is really intense. There's a lot of stuff. And if you want, before we end the call, I'll give you a heads up. I'll show you. I think I'll do a screen share. I think I'm doing a screen share so you can see the screen. Would anybody like to see it? Oh, Judy. Signed up late on Sunday, just don't have had time to really look at it closely. Didn't download the PDF sprint folder. Love it so far with the videos. Cool. Good. Listen, Judy, I know you just signed up on Sunday. Welcome. It's okay. The beautiful part of boot camp is you move again at your own pace. Go back and watch the video a dozen times if you need to. And what's great with the transcript is print out the transcript if you want to print it, and highlight the things that are your big takeaways. Remember I told you week 1 for some of you is going to have a lot of stuff that's a review. For some of you, it's going to be stuff it's validating what you're already doing, reminding you of some stuff that you may have forgotten to do, and I hope giving you some new ideas too. And as you see, it gets progressively a little more, I don't say complex, but we just keep kicking it up a notch. Yes. So, Jenny, you've gone through all 6 videos. Awesome. Fantastic. And Susan, you've dumped the transcripts and weekly PDFs into Evernote where you can access them from any device and highlight. That's a great idea. So you're not printing them out, wasting the ink and stuff, unless you really want to. You could certainly do that and make a binder of all this stuff. And instead of even saving it on your hard drive, Susan, you've put it into Evernote so that no matter where you are, you can access it. That's a cloud, right? It's like a cloud. That's awesome. I think it's a great idea. I'm going to jot that down because I love hearing how everybody integrates different tools based on your familiarity with different cool tools. I think that's super cool. Let's see if anybody else has any comments or questions. All right, let me see here. I think we have a screen. Yeah, show. So, all right, I should be showing my screen now. And so you should be able to see my screen right now, okay? And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump to week 2. And I don't think anybody will have access to it. It's really, week 2 isn't ready yet. I have one more thing to do, which is to load up the welcome video. I hope you've all on week 1 watched that welcome video that has the agenda, because that's really important. It kind of sets the table for what's to come. So when I show you week 2 right now, which you shouldn't have access to because it should what's called drip content. It will only go live again 7 days after. If you have access to it now, tell me if you do. That'd be really weird. But I'm going to show you week 2. Here we go. So do me a favor. Would somebody just type in yes that you can see? You can see my screen share here. Somebody. Yes. Yay! Yes. Thank you, everybody. It's cool. Okay. So this is week 2. And if you can see the video up top, still says week 1 agenda. I put that in for position only. So I'm just finishing the week 2 welcome message. So it's fresh and it's new for you guys. So here's what we got coming in week 2. Okay. That's not week 2. Wait, there's week 2. Okay. All right. Here we go. Check this out. As I promised, how to write better group agreement letters. That's a video. Super success secret, easy for me to say. The power is in the package. This is a really, really awesome video. And then protect your profits. This is called really protect your profits and increase your financial intelligence. I didn't write that because it was too long. It didn't fit. But the first portion, it's a 3-part series on protecting your profits. This is about the P&L, profit and loss chart, statement, menu. And then the marking up and selling price, which has to do with packaging. Now, part 3 to that, you'll see in a minute, is in the PDF downloads. And then the other video, the 5th video, is how to leverage suppliers to boost group sales. And I spent enough time on the supplier side, worked with them, various capacities that, I don't know, maybe I'll give you a little tip, a little help with that. So those are your videos. What do you guys think? Look good? And now we're going to go to the PDF downloads. which look at the first one alone. 60 powerful presentation strategies for signing more groups. That's huge. It's huge and it's awesome. And it's presentation strategies and basically selling tips. But I wanted a big presentation because one of the issues we all have is, I know too many agents, and I know there's nobody on the call right now who does this. They send the proposal or the price via email. No good. You got to do it live. You got to do it in a webinar like this. You got to do it screen share somehow, some way. So there's 60 tips there. A best group lead worksheet you will ever need. I hope you love this. And then this one is actually a Word document that you can open, and hopefully you have a Microsoft suite. You can open this and make it your own. Just customize it. It's Word that you can use it to help you collect information from the client and make it your own. Personalize it. Next is how to maximize supplier co-op dollars for group marketing. I will tell you, as a former supplier, and you probably all know this, and Jean Ann knows this too, because Jean Ann and I worked together a long time ago. That's before I had any gray hair. That's a very long time ago. But she's actually very young, Jean Ann. So I don't want you to think I'm the old one. She's the young one. In any case, when I was on the supplier side, I started off my career in the field, working, not my career, but when I worked for my first supplier, I was in the field as a Costa rep, then a Princess rep, hence the mug, and then other suppliers after. I won't bore you with that, but wait, let me take a sip. Hold on. The next PDF is a markup cheat sheet, which you're going to like, so it will help you mark it up. By the way, when it comes to groups, I hope we can eliminate the word commission. Because if we're just going to settle for earning the commission for profit on selling a group, don't bother. Don't bother, because then you got to deduct the evil NCCFs. But the commissions, we shouldn't be held hostage to that. We should just use that. That's the margin that they're willing to share with us. And then we're going to add to that margin. That's critical. That's why groups should be the most profitable part of business, any business that we can do. Okay, so I really don't like saying the word commission. It's really about the margin, which includes the tiny portion sometimes that the line or the tour operator is going to be paying us. Then we have the action plan, which I have to update for week 2, so it takes you to the next steps. Please go. It's not required to do, but I'd love for you to do it because it'll help keep you focused. I will get to see a copy, and it says it there, because I'll just glance at it. I want to see where you're headed. I want to see your progress, and I just keep it on file. That's all. If you don't want me to see it, I won't see it, but I like to see it. Just it monitors. But I'm telling you up front. And so if you don't want to use the form, don't use the form, but I think it may help. And then the bonus for next week is the 20 biggest branding flubs and 20 ways to brand better. This is a really cool document. You're really, really going to like this because it'll help you to market as a group agent even better. So let me see if there's any new comments. We have laughing out loud. Oh, this is great. Yes, right, Jenny, about the commission margin. I mean, no. I call if we settle for what they're going to pay us. I call that we're a commission hostage. A commission hostage. And understand something. I love suppliers. I was a supplier. I'm not putting them down. They're not the enemy, but they're also not our partner. They're not a partner, really. They're a company we do business with. We want to have a great, phenomenal relationship with them, especially a personal relationship with the local rep or any executive friends that we have there too. But they're going to do what they need to do, period. So we need to do what we need to do too. We also have competing interests, don't we, with the supplier, which we don't want to let stand in our way, but they don't necessarily want you to bundle in other outside excursions and bundle in other insurance and bundle in other things, because they're a for-profit business like you are. They're doing the right thing. And you've got to do the right thing too. Thank you for the commission, but I can't survive on that. So that's just part of my margin. Yay. Um, let me see here. Week 2. In week 1, it already says week 2 action plan. I have to go back and fix that, Susan. Sorry. Don't worry about it. I think I may have changed something inadvertently. I can go back and swap that out. But it really is the week 1 plan. How did I do that? Oh, silly me. I'll get that fixed. Sorry about that. Let's see here. Is there a new action plan every week? Yes, Jenny. There will be a new action plan every week. I will change the questions, and that's what I'm just finishing right now for week 2. I will change the questions for you based on the material, the content for that week. Okay, so I hope that helps. And I'm sorry. And listen, I got to tell you something. Susan, for bringing this to my attention. We had some of our other boot campers send me an email saying, "Hey, this lake is going over here," or "Where's this?" You know, I wish I was perfect. I try to be perfect. I have when there's a weird link or something's not working, let me know, please, right away. And there's a lot of ways you guys can reach me. I hope you know by now. Whenever you're logged into the week 1 or week 2 homepage, there's always that little chat thing that kind of floats around there. When I'm sitting at my desk, which is most of the time, I will be online, so we can do a chat. It's an instant chat. So please take advantage of that. You can email me, of course. You can fill out the contact form if you want. But actually, that little blue thing at the bottom there is the easiest way to go. And you can call me. My God, nobody picks up the phone to call anymore. In fact, I despise talking on this device so terribly that I actually got myself. I don't know if you guys remember this. Do you guys remember this? No, look at this. Look how it curves to the head. And look how this doesn't. I mean, this is brutal. I'm sorry. How we digress. But call me or text me. If you don't have my cell phone number, I'll give it to you. Text me. And I want to tell you something. Do you know why I'm making it so easy for you to yeah, it has a cord. Wait. Oh my God, it has a cord. It does. Yes. That's so funny. I love it. I miss it. I wish I had a rotary phone. No, I don't. I really don't wish I had a rotary phone. I like the old push button. But what I was saying was that the reason why I'm making it so easy for you to communicate with me is because I hope it rubs off. In other words, I hope you will make it that easy for your group clients and all your clients to contact you. I've given you my cell phone number. I'm telling you to call me or text me whenever you want. I dare you, and maybe some of you have or have not done this, I don't know. I dare you to do that with your clients. I know it sounds a little freaky. I know it can scare you a little bit, but I got to tell you something. I haven't gotten a text from anybody. I haven't gotten a phone call from anybody on my cell phone either. I've gotten all my questions have come via email. If you put it out there, I don't think it's going to be abused. And the second part of that is, I believe we need to speak their language. We need to enter their conversation. This goes for individual clients or group clients. I mean, so few people pick up, this horrific device and make phone calls because it's not made for phone calls. So what do? We text. Now, it takes me 4 hours to write a 3-sentence text because I spell it wrong. I should have just made a phone call. But if it's easier for them to text because they don't want to bother you or they don't want to get into especially if you're in the selling process. Now, hear me out. If you're in the selling process and they don't want to get you on the phone and engage or feel like, they want to keep their distance, texting is the way to go. They're comfortable with that. All you want to do is engage. Would you rather lose a client because they would rather not bother, or maybe they have a misconception about something and they just walk away? Or would you rather take, have a 2-minute text conversation and make it right, square it away? So I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I'm checking the thing here. Um, Wishing for the old party phone lines. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I remember those too. It's just so funny how things have changed. Whenever I talk to my son Zachary, he's 19. Um, kids these days they say, "Oh, I called this one," but they don't mean call. Calling is now texting. They've changed the definition. So, listen, I don't want to keep you guys on longer than this. Is totally random. Okay, Jenny, here we go. This is from Jenny. Thank you, Jenny. I'm going to read this now. It's totally random, but I'm working on a new website that is specific to my niche, group travel. Yay. Do I need to purchase all the URLs? I have the .com. Do I need to get .net, etc. too? I think the purpose of my website is credibility. What do you all think? How would you answer, Jenny? Does she need to get all the .net, the .ca, the whatever? My answer is no, you don't. I really don't believe you do. I thought long and hard about that too when I bought my name, Stuart Lloyd Cohen, and Stuart Cohen Show, and I have a health coach too, so I have healthysexyaging.com. No, honestly, I don't think it's worth it. Look, I have seen some of the biggest brands in the world. They don't get the .net, they don't get the TV, the the this, number one. So I learned from what the big guys do, because I'm not a big guy, I'm a little guy. If I should only have so many billions of visitors, and you should too, that you have others copying you and they steal your domain and make it a .net. If you think that's an issue, then do it. I mean, it's cheap. Go to one of those cheap places and buy them and keep them. I mean, you'll be paying whatever, if $13 or $9, whatever it is, a year in perpetuity. But honestly, I don't think you need to worry about that. Yeah, doubt anyone will search for you, Jenny. Yeah, so I don't think, really, totally don't think you need to do that. What I would suggest though is always trying to get the .com. Why? Because that's what we're all used to. You always want to watch for fads and trends in technology and so forth. And I personally, unless you have seen different experiences with companies and businesses having great success using a .net or a something else, I know that they're all trying to push that. Who's trying to push it? The people who sell the domains. That's the only people trying to push it. GoDaddy and others. So it's, yeah, I would always say to try to get the .com, or if you're in Canada, of course, the .ca. I mean, that's their primary domain there too. And perhaps if you do a lot of business in Canada, by the way, you may want to do the .ca too. That's where it makes sense. And just so you guys know, Jenny, if you do get a .net or whatever, you don't have to build two separate websites. You can have it forwarded, instant, or what's called a redirect. So if somebody types in, jennysgroups.net, you can have it built in. It's very, very simple where it just automatically goes to jennysgroups.com and nobody even knows. I actually have that in a couple of different areas where I have a domain, but there's nothing there. So it comes to a main site. So let me check here to see if anybody has any more questions or comments from anybody. Let's see. Anything? I don't see anything coming through just yet. Please don't be shy. Ask away, share. Let me know if you have any comments, questions, suggestions. On one hand, I don't want to. Here's the thing. I promised you, this is your show. I promised you that you can pop in, pop out. So if you got to go, you got to go. If you can hang around, do other work while you're tuning in, almost like a radio show. But we'll see, because if I see there's nothing else coming in, we're 40 minutes into it. I don't think somebody's going to pop in, closer, unless you think I should stay on if somebody else pops in, because nobody else, and again, you don't even have to necessarily register for this. Come in at the last second. That's okay. You have to register with not in advance, but you still have to register through the normal go to webinar registration link. But does anybody else have any more questions or comments about your experience in boot camp thus far? Just business groups in general. If anybody you want to see me bring into the experts library, either on a particular topic or a particular person, I'm happy to do that. Susan has asked, in the boot camp, do you address cold calling possible groups? Yeah, I mean, I do. There's quite a bit of information on different ways how to prospect. And I'm not sure I necessarily call it cold calling, although I might. I have to go back and look, because as part of week one, there's a I think a PDF download too, an article on I think 23 additional ways how to prospect. Let me go back to week one here. I'm you know I'm all for cold calling. And if I need to add more information on this, I certainly will. But cold calling is when you're courageous, when you're brave, and you get up out of the chair and you go knock on doors. And realize that in a cold call, tell me if you agree or not with me, Susan, you're not walking in to sell. If you walk in to try to sell on a cold call, you're going to fail miserably. You're just going to make friends. You're on a mission. You're being a detective, I think. That's what I believe is a cold call. You being a detective, you're going to gather information. You're going to knock on a door, or you're going to pick up the phone, of course. And you go say, hey, by the way, you've got an amazing website. I'm very impressed with your organization. I'm curious, do you ever travel as a group? That's a cold call to me. Whether you knock on the door, or whether you pick up the phone and call, or send an email inquiry. Because if you start selling, guess what happens? Boom, they'll shut the door. Nobody wants to be sold to. The whole idea before you sell is you have to discover if they've got a problem. And that problem could be they've been traveling before and they're not terribly happy with how it's been going. They have a problem because they've never done a group trip before, and they're looking for ways to bring people together or to host an event or do something different. That's the problem. And you have a solution. Because if you give this is basic selling 101. If you give somebody a solution that they don't have a problem for, they close the door in your face. You have to pull out the problem. What's the problem? What's the challenge? What do you need? If you sell yourself first, it's not going to work. They have to demonstrate the need, and you got to say, you know what? I think I can help. Do you mind if we set up an appointment? They say, give me 10 minutes. That's the way I like to work by phone, by the way. I say, listen, I need 5 minutes. I promise you, I will stick to that. Because nobody ever commits to a 5-minute phone call. I do that all the time, and you would not believe how many people agree to come to the line. And they actually say, take a half hour. Let's see. Experts Library on river cruising. River cruise groups. I think that's a great idea, Jenny, because I am, by the way, has anybody on the line ever gone on a river cruise? I'm curious. If you have experienced a river cruise, just let me know. I am an enormous fan of river cruising. Personally, I have been on 2, one for my honeymoon, which was in March of last year. Both of them have been on Alma Waterways. I've done 2 wine-themed cruises, and I love them to pieces. Love it, love it, love it. If you're not already selling river cruises, now is the time to establish yourself as an expert. My very good friend and mentor, Mike Marshev, is a huge, he just did a webinar on that too, on river cruising. So maybe I'll have him, maybe he can come in and do an experts library on river cruising too, because he brings in a lot of marketing savvy to it too. And I'm a huge fan. And for groups, the profitability is huge. So I'm curious if anybody has river cruised, and if anybody on has, and if you're watching this or if you're listening to this recorded, please send me, respond, because I'm going to leave a little comment thing after, because I love your comments, by the way. So after you see a video, if you read a PDF, feel free to make a comment, share an anecdote with us, or if there's something missing, add it to it, or if there's something that specifically resonates with you, let me know. It's not just me, you're sharing it with others. So I bet you want to see what somebody else has to say too. I mean, that's why the whole will be greater than the sum of the parts. I just know it. Let's see. Yes, you agree. And Susan says here, I have a bazillion ideas for groups, some of which won't have a basic group leader other than me, and I need to get past the gatekeepers to get to the VIPs. I want to invite that. Is yes, to invite. That's the worst. Yeah, very few people are really comfortable doing the cold call. But if you practice and if you prepare, if you realize you just want to make friends your first time out. Sorry if I'm talking random here. You just want to make friends. You're not selling anything your first conversation. Nothing. You need to be clear, honest, and pure. You're just making friends to find out who needs you. One tip I give when it comes to networking is it's not about who you need to meet. It's not about giving out business cards. It is about exposing yourself so that the people who need to meet you find you. Okay? Think of it that way. You got to put yourself out there so that people know who you are. And the people, it's like the universe is going to bring them together because they have heard about you. Maybe you've marketed to them in the past and they go, oh, listen, I get your blog. Oh, I read your stuff. Oh, Johnny over there tells me you do groups. So focus more on not who you need to meet and give out cards to, but who needs to meet you, which comes back to branding. You need to be well branded so they know who the heck you are. As Mike Marshev says, that you're alive. And number two, they know what you do. They know exactly what you do. Crystal clear. That's good branding. And the ideas, I love the fact you have so many group ideas. A bazillion. Yay! That's a word I use all the time. Jean Ann wants to know, will I cover how to work with charities and make profit while making money for your organization? Actually, I have two answers to that. The answer is that there is a module in the experts library. It doesn't go into great depth or detail on fundraising groups. I think it's Alicia Stewart from Carnival who does a ton of those. I had her in the experts library, so she gives a few tips there too, but it doesn't get real complex. I have it on my list to dive deep, Jean Ann, into very specific groups. Like if you notice, and the week one bonus is a magazine. It's phenomenal. I'm giving this to you out of a partnership with a company who produces this, a good friend of mine, and it gives you everything in the world you need to know specifically about reunions, far beyond the specific level that I'm going to when it comes to specifically reunions. I want to do this for religious group travel. I want to do this for fundraising groups as well. So that is on the agenda. And as you may or may not know this, but throughout your time in boot camp, whether it's the 6 months or the year, I will continuously add new stuff. A, as it's requested by you, okay, boot campers, and B, where I really know that I'm excited about adding information. And I think fundraising in charities is very, very, very good. I think it's excellent, but it's also risky. And you also really, really need to know how to paper it up and document it up. Because if you're dealing with a true bona fide charity organization, there will be a contract. And you may need an attorney. Jean Ann, you may have experience with this too. So I would love very much to dive deep. Once we roll out the whole program, I will double back and I will continuously add, especially based on your feedback, to see what everybody wants more. Hope that answered your question. Yes. So, right, you do have that need and have that experience. It's fundraising and charities. I think is really, really, really big business. A lot of organizations, especially, want to hold big events. Well, instead of doing a night at a hotel, with a rubber chicken dinner, don't tell my friend Chris Austin I said that. He's a good friend at Starwood. I'm kidding. Ah, um, why not go away to a Starwood property? There you go, Chris. Or make it a shorty cruise or something like that. If it's a big event where it's fundraising, a charity, a big award ceremony, and I think it's magnificent. They work, but they're detailed how you produce those. So I think it's a great, and all these chats that you are being saved. So I will go back. You see, I'm not writing notes right now. I want to focus on you, and I'm going to do it. Susan has been on a river cruise, not yet. Well, we gotta get that changed. Oh, Jenny's when I get changed, I'm saying, Susan, see what kind of FAMs. I know AMA, they sometimes offer FAM trips, and maybe the others do too as well. And again, I'm not here pushing any one line or company over another. I'm giving you my personal experience. I have relationships with a lot of the people, and I do know that I know AMA has had FAMs in the past. I'm sure the others do too. And if it's not a FAM, just go. Just go. Do a group around it. Make it a president's group. You lead your friends and family, even if it's your first time. That's okay. Jenny's going on her first one April 4th. Awesome. Cool. Bordeaux round trip. Wow. Awesome. I am envious. I love river cruising. They're so much fun. I can't wait to go back. Jenny, so you took Mike's webinar yesterday. Cool. That's great. I'll tell him you were in the camp. Thank you so much. Would be good to have more than just AMA represented for the river cruise. Maybe find someone representing other lines. Yeah. No, I get it. Listen, this boot camp is really, I want it to be commercial free. I'm going to the experts library because I want to get a variety of people from a variety of companies. I am nonpartisan in this boot camp. Honest to goodness. The way I make my decisions, who comes in, is it's either by subject matter or it's by the person. I happen to be friends with the person. I know the person, regardless of the company they work for. Yep. And let's see. Oh, Susan, she can give tips on the charity side of groups. That's awesome. So you can share too. So tell me, Susan, we can connect offline if you want, or you can type it into the comment box, or we can have a conversation or an email conversation. Because if you can share and add to this new module that I can produce, there's nothing better than anecdotes. There's nothing better than sharing a true life story. Because I'll tell you why. And a lot of the boot camp is what you're seeing is true life stories, stuff that I've been through or I've seen other agencies do and not do. Do right and do wrong. The whole idea here is that we help each other and accelerate our growth so that we don't make the same mistakes that have already been made. So if I can tell you, listen, like especially if you're an ultra boot camper, week 4, oh my goodness, we have 3 separate modules called avoiding disasters. It's huge because if I can prevent you from losing money, making a mistake early, or not setting up something to protect you, to mitigate risk, then you will just make that much more money, have that much less stress. That's what boot camp training is for. Training is to help you make more money, to help you save money. Okay. To eliminate or at least mitigate risks, have better supplier and client relationships, and to be happy. To be happy. I want you to be happy. We're not in this business. I would hope nobody on the line is in this business because they need to be. That you're in the business because you want to be. Oh, I see. Jalal has joined us too. Welcome. I see. I'm glad. Yeah, we're going to keep it all hour. And we are going to stop hard at the hour because I respect your time too. So you didn't. on time, always get out on time. And by the way, before I let you go, if you have any, my audio is getting garbly now. Oh boy. Thank you for telling me. About my audio is getting garbly. I can't. If I don't know until you tell me, and there's nothing I can do. It could be at your end internet. It could be at my end with the internet. I'm sorry. I hope it's getting any better. Any better? I'll put this out there if it's getting any better. But I'm sorry about that. Well, I'm gonna keep going in case you can hear. So if you would be so kind to tell me, because I'm going to schedule our next Ask Stuart hour, which will be in 2 weeks from now. I know if I ask 10 people if you have a preferred date or time, I'm going to get 10 different answers. But I'm curious, would you rather it on a specific date? Or would you rather it on a specific time, early, midday, late, early morning, evening? We have East Coast and West Coast to deal with. But please give me your feedback so I can schedule this and try to meet everybody's kind of echoey. Let's see. So boot camp. Oh, Jenny, my pleasure. She said she's so excited about boot camp. Thank you for offering it. My pleasure. I've been working on this I feel like for my whole life. So this is something that's really special for me too to be able to share. Okay, garble is not better. Okay, Susan's recommending maybe a 10 or 3 start time Central, Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. Okay, that's great. Let's see. We have Jean-Ann has a conflict every day at noon through May. Okay. All right. I'm going to look at all of your comments and send emails to me and communicate with me so that I know when to set the next ones. And we can vary the times. It's up to you guys. It's just your show. I can do it the same time every time, or we can switch it around. And again, you can always listen to it archived as a podcast or whatnot when it's most convenient, when you're having coffee in the morning the next day, if you actually miss it. But if you send me your questions, I will answer like we answered Carl's questions here. So are there any more? Let's see. Any day of the week is good for AM and midday, not afternoon or later. Okay. The garble cleared up. Yay! See, I have no idea unless you all tell me that it's garbled. Not later afternoon. Okay. Same time Wednesday is fine. Jalal, thank you for sharing. Okay. So yeah, I'll go back. I'll look at everybody's comments. If I didn't read yours live here, I'm sorry, but I will read everybody's comments, and I'll come up with another date and time and RSVP, and realize that if you can't make it, that's okay. That's one of the great things about boot camp. I hope you like is that come and go as as you please. I'm not doing all these courses by 1 hour webinar because 57 or 58% of you will be able to come. The others won't because something will come up. You can do it at 2 o'clock in the morning if you want, watch a module. But these we will do live so I can interact. And hopefully somebody will say, oh, you can enable my microphone or you can enable my webcam, because that would be fun too. And on occasion, I also may have some special guests here too. So if you have any special guests you want to see in the Ask Stuart Hour relating to groups, perhaps supplier side or whatever, I have some ideas of my own. Let me know. I want to make them fun too. Judy, thank you for the boot camp. The time is great. At 10 a.m. Okay, mornings except Monday. Yeah, I think Monday's going to be a real tough day. All right, super cool. Well, we're going to close up in about 40 seconds. So any final comments before I close the session? Any final comments here? Nope. Thank you. You're very welcome, Jeanette. It's my pleasure. I thank you all very, very much for coming to our first premiere, debut, kickoff of the Ask Stuart Hour. This has been fun. I was afraid we wouldn't have enough to talk about. I've been talking for a whole hour. And it's been terrific. I will let you know when when I post this, and I wish you all happy sales and a big, big, big thank you for being in boot camp. Thank you, and take on the day.